Being memed ruined Chance the Rapper at the time because he's kind of making a comeback now. Which hot take is not a comeback, because which even hotter take, The Big Day wasn't a bad album. But before we get into it, I'm MrThirdperson. Welcome to class, where I do freeform video essays on things that I am very opinionated about, do very little to no research on, but like to hear myself speak. And we back. I'm gonna get into this deep. The reason The Big Day was hated on as much as it was, and still is 4 years later, especially after he got divorced from the wife he was talking about the whole time in the album, the reason why it was hated on so much is because the meme, I love my wife.
Ooh, I love my wife. I love my wife.
That blew up quicker than the album rollout for Chance the Rapper's The Big Day. And because people are they're so much more inclined to follow a trend than a quality, because the quality of The Big Day in a whole is actually not bad. It's a good album. I look back to 2019, and back then when I first started my college, I would make album reviews, like kind of short reviews on my Instagram. I would take a screenshot of the album cover, write my rating for the album cover, and write a couple comments to the album. And I gave The Big Day an 8 out of 10 at the time. It says not as bad as everybody was making it seem, because I didn't care. Like, I don't follow the, oh, this is being said on this thing, and I know I sound like, oh man, I'm so better. No, that never interested me, what everybody thinks about something, if I personally like it. And I'm gonna be talking about that in a different video as well. One of the major things why the I love my wife meme was so prevalent, why people made such a big deal out of it, is because at the time, loving people was not trending. If I remember correctly, let me look this up before I talk out of my ass, which I'm gonna do anyway. City girls. And you're gonna find out in a moment why I'm looking up city girls. Welcome to MrThirdperson's video essays, where he does the research during the video. This is why I just looked up city girls and why I risk a DMCA takedown. Chance the Rapper dropped The Big Day in 2019 to the height of the city girl versus city boy debate, where everybody was proud of being single in an already toxically independent culture. So you can't drop a wedding, I love my wife, showing love and praises to God and praising your children and loving your children. You can't do that in the middle of everybody hyping up not having nobody, being on their own, being lonely and happy, supposedly. Had he dropped it now, it would have worked better, because now we're in a time where being happy and being in relationships and being cutesy lovey-dovey is trending. The new generation loves love. They love love. The generation at the time, they didn't. Because if you listen to it now, another hot take, this may be the hottest take, Chance the Rapper's Big Day was ahead of its time. I listened to it now. I revisited a few weeks ago after not having listened to it. We're learning grammar together, folks. After not having listened to it since it came out, honestly, I didn't touch it again because I just it didn't grab me. I thought it was a good album, but it wasn't something I wanted to listen to consistently. But a lot of people might say, well, if it doesn't have the replay value, it doesn't make it not good. That's not true. Some of my favorite albums I don't listen to on a regular basis. Replay value is a stupid argument. And while listening to it, I was like, wait a second. This sounds like something that they would make TikTok dances to. Wait, hold up. Is that a Jersey Club mix? There are so many songs that you can literally imagine kids, hot damn, hot water, hot shower. This is how The Big Day would look now. If he dropped The Big Day today, Hot Shower would drop with a feature from Doja Cat and like Sabrina Carpenter or somebody. It will go crazy. You can't tell me that's not true. Another issue when it comes to timing, the order of songs, the way they're listed is really bad. It's not good. Not because the songs aren't good, but because it is so back and forth in the vibe and the feeling of it. You're going through a range of emotions within a small amount of time. You need to have a good intro to bring the people into the album and a good outro to take them out of the album. His album is just like this, boo, 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 back and forth the whole time. Another issue, he has a lot of big names on this album, and those big names were supposed to, push him to the forefront. The big names he had on his album happened to become very problematic as time went on, which is hilarious. The issue is the big names are on his worst songs. He has Nicki Minaj. He has 2 Nicki Minaj features, and those are 2 of the worst songs on the album. Honestly, he has a DaBaby feature, and the DaBaby feature happens to be on Hot Shower. It was the worst decision to make that the single of the album. His 2 big features, because DaBaby and Nicki Minaj were huge at the time and are still, DaBaby fell off after that because, his whole controversy getting canceled. Nicki Minaj, also pretty big, also falling off at the moment, which is hilarious. But the other 2 features were from lesser known artists, that being Smino and Shawn Mendes. Eternal with Smino is off the chain. It's such a vibe. And you may be saying, hey, Shawn Mendes isn't lesser known. Everybody knows Shawn Mendes, you're stupid. Now, this may be a crazy thing to say. I don't believe the same audience that listens to Chance the Rapper are big fans of Shawn Mendes. Now, I may be going off on a limb by saying that. I may be completely wrong, but why do I feel like people that are fans of a rapper from Chicago who used to rap on LSD are also fans of a white boy who sings like every other white boy? That may be just like the wildest, craziest thing to say, and Smino at the time was just coming up. Unless not to say he was just coming up, he was still underground. Look at the track list, okay? So like the best songs don't get listens. Eternal got 23 million where the drop off started to happen. I Got You is an insane R&B banger. Like it sounds like a legit 90s happy have fun song and only got 13 million listens. Rue with Taylor Bennett, his brother, is also really good. It's just a rap on some chill beats. Big Fish was chilling. Ballin' Flossin' with Shawn Mendes is also a bop. The majority of these songs are what you imagine when you hear the word bop. I was listening to this morning while I was cleaning up and doing dishes and stuff. It's house cleaning music, and that's not an insult. Steve Lacy is house cleaning music. Solange is house cleaning music, and they're obviously way better than this album, but that's the vibe of it. It's happy, feel good, enjoying life, like just going on, kind of not necessarily background music, but begleiten the music. Dude, is every single one of these videos gonna have me needing a word, and I only can think of the German word? Accompanying? Go with, yeah, thank you. It's accompany music. It carries you along through your day and through your life. If you compare it to his older albums, it doesn't compare at all to 10 Day, to Acid Rap, to Coloring Book. It doesn't compare to any of those. I got onto Chance the Rapper at the time. I got on the Chance the Rapper because I'm a dancer, or I dance. I haven't danced in a while. I used to dance a lot, and I got into it when I was like 14. I started watching Nonstop, the dude who did the Pumped Up Kicks video. Nonstop was part of a group of dancers called Dragon House, and I looked at Dragon House, and they had a video called Suitcase, and Suitcase is a song that Chance the Rapper has with Vic Mensa, so it's actually a Vic Mensa song, and that's how I found Chance the Rapper. 10 years ago, 36,000 views. In my suitcase. It's not a suitcase, it's more of a briefcase. I be on business. Your footsteps rotate with the planets, and the planets spinning off with a market crash. Oh shit, red alert, panic. Most important part. This shit's hype, dude. But yeah, no, that's how I found Chance the Rapper at the time. That was 10 years ago. I heard that first verse, I was like, damn, who's this? I found out it was Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa featuring Chance the Rapper, Suitcase. I remember the video at the time was a picture of the 8-pixel Goku and Gohan shooting at each other or something. Vic Mensa on that stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about him when it is. Like, people have talked about that already. Let me mention this. Vic Mensa, before he became Vic Mensa, was in a band called Kids These Days that made like rap rock music. If anybody, please write in the comments if you know Kids These Days and you know what kind of music they make, and you know of any other bands that make music like that, please let me know. Please write in the comments and suggest to me these bands, because I love that music so much. I love it so much, and I can't find anybody else who makes songs like that. So Chance the Rapper, I found that video. Obviously listened to Acid Rap. Cocoa Butter Kisses was my shit. That was like my favorite song. I loved Cocoa Butter Kisses. Then a year later, 2 years later, Coloring Book dropped, and I was listening to Coloring Book nonstop. I remember to listen to it. This was when I first, because I didn't get into like deep into music. I always loved music, but I didn't get deep into music until after To Pimp a Butterfly. That was 2015. Coloring Book dropped in 2016, and I would take time out and invest time into listening to these albums and actually, you know, analyzing and internalizing them. And when Coloring Book dropped, I remember getting my phone, putting on my earphones, cable ones. I still use the cable ones to this day. And I went on a walk in my hometown. I went on a walk and I was just listening to it. And when Mixtape came on, bro, I was like, yo, niggas still care about a mixtape. That dude, that shit took me. Yo, niggas still care about a mixtape. I love that so much, and I was pissed that Lil Yachty was on it because I was a big time Lil Yachty hater, and he had a feature, and the feature was trash. And even being like, I enjoy Lil Yachty now, that feature's still trash. I could have worn this one for the video. This was part of his tour, the field trip tour that I went to like a month ago. I'm a big fan. But no, I love that music. So when the Big Day dropped, I was excited. Chance the Rapper during that time was in my top 10 easily. He was easily in my top 10. I think he was in a lot of people's top 10s. And then that album dropped, and I was listening to it. I was like, oh man, this night. And then I saw people talking about it and the reviews and stuff, and the memes and the jokes, and I was like, man, that's kind of annoying. Like, it's messed up that people are just trend hopping and following the bandwagon of hating on this album, even though it's like a good album. It's a decent, fun album, and it was very disappointing. But now, what bothers me even more, which returned me to the topic of Chance the Rapper, is he started an album rollout recently. He started dropping snippets of verses over the past like year. It's been a long time, because he dropped one talking about like Jefferson or something.
Back in 1700s, they ain't have amoxicillin. I heard George Washington died at the dentist getting fillings.
Which is a really good, it's supposed to be a freestyle, I believe. He also was on a feature. I always forget what the song was called. A cab. Dude, the way he, bro.
Oh, right there. Hey!
He comes in with so much energy on that song. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, no, he never left. Everybody was like, oh, Chance the Rapper fell off. Chance the Rapper lost to Chance the Rapper, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, y'all just misunderstood and misinterpreted what was going on because you got so caught up in what you wanted to get caught up in. Am I too far away from the camera? I don't know why I backed up all the way back there. You got so caught up in the trend and the hating that you didn't notice that he actually did, like, he has some tight verses, cool lines. Like, the flows that he hits on Big Day is... Like, if you gave that just album to somebody who was happy and was living a good life and had a relationship and possibly a family, and they listened to it, they would enjoy the hell out of the album. They would love the album. But because everybody who was listening to it, as they was broke, they was single, they was lonely, and they was mad. They were mad because they couldn't understand. They could not understand how somebody could be happy and loving and in a relationship. They didn't get it. And now, as I said, he's having his album rolled out. He dropped that Jefferson freestyle. He was on this feature. Then recently he dropped a song, a single. It's called Together or something. It's all right. It's decent. But he dropped another freestyle on TikTok recently that's awesome. It's off the chain. It's really good. And now we're probably gonna get an insane banger of an album. And I know for a fact, people will say it's only good because he divorced his wife, because people are stupid. People are idiots and they do not enjoy joy. They don't like when people are happy and believe that you can only be good at something when you're unhappy. Let's say this specifically for artists, because even Bryson Tiller, people were pissed at Bryson Tiller for making bad music after he got in a relationship. I think it was Bryson Tiller, or was it the other guy? I don't know. Somebody got in a relationship and the music stopped being toxic, and it's like, dude, come on. But it's still good music, just it's not in your headspace. Find somebody else to be bitchy about. Am I missing any points that I was trying to make? I'm excited for the album. I'm looking forward to hearing Chance again. I'm not expecting, like, I don't have a presetting of it being bad or good. I always go into these things with an open mind, so I'm hoping for it to be Chance the Rapper. Let's just say it like that. I'm hoping for it to actually be his sound. I want him to act as much as possible, because that ad lib is hilarious. I still don't remember if there's anything that I forgot. I don't want to forget something. How long have I been recording for? Do I even need more? 28 minutes. I don't need any more. I don't like outros. You know what? I spoke on these topics so back and forth. I'm gonna have to cut it together so that it makes sense and is congruent to how I imagine it being in my head. Ow, is there a bump? Why when you get pimples and stuff, or just random like mosquito bites or any type of bump, why do you just happen to touch that specific spot? Did you see how specific this tap was? Why was it right on the spot that hurt?